The mother put her husband, her children, and her parents before herself. She taught her daughter to live a life different from hers, and she taught her son to live a life like his father. Perhaps it's no wonder that the daughter and son who are so different do not get along. Then who holds the key to rid this confusion?
Like a lion undisturbed by noise, like the wind uncaught by the net, wander along like the horn of the rhinoceros. Gong Ji-yeong's novel, Wander Along Like the Horn of the Rhinoceros, despite its title, chooses to wander with people rather than going along to find answers to feminine-related issues. Women are required to carry both the fantasy about good women and also the prejudice toward the intelligent woman with them. The three female characters in this book come up with the resolutions for women's confusion and pain resulting from this paradox.
Do you remember your 20s? That period of youthful vigor? You probably prayed for something special to happen. These three women met when they were in their 20s. Haewon marries an ordinary man she met at school.
그리고 결혼을 했다.
Young-sun, despite objections from others, marries a poor man who aspires to be a director. Kyung-hae, a realist, marries an old obstetrician. And 10 years later, they pray that nothing happens to them.
경혜니? 나야.
A phone call brings unexpected news. Young-sun tried to kill herself. The three women meet again. What was it that pushed her over the edge of despair?
자기를 이해해 줄 수 있는 남성에 의해서 한국 사회에서 자기 지위나 불만들이 해소될 수 있지 않을까라고 생각하는 여성들이거든요. 그래서 페미니즘이라는 게 지금 일반화됐지만 그럼에도 불구하고 여성들이 스스로 자기 힘을 통해서 자기의 위치를 자리 잡을 수 없기 때문에 다양한 여러 가지 의존적인 대안들을 구하려고 한다는 점에서 이 세 인물들이 가지고 있는 현재적인 의미가 있다고 할 수 있습니다.
힘든 남자지. 이젠 절대로 속지 않아. 미안해.
Haewon, an independent spirit, finds a job after the birth of her child, but her husband wishes her to stay at home and continues to treat her coldly. One day, an accident kills her child right before her eyes. Due to the shock, lack of sympathy, and harsh treatment from her husband, she chooses divorce.
그런 생각을 했어. 결혼 생활 7년 동안 난 어디 있었나? 난 결국 아주 충실한 하녀 역할을 하고 있었던 거야. 그래도 그때까진 난 내 꿈을 포기하진 않았어.
Young-sun is intelligent and talented. When she goes abroad with her husband, she gives up her dreams to support her husband.
네가 뭘 알아?
But her husband, who has succeeded over the years, looks at his wife with contempt for losing herself.
이젠 끝이야. 난 니들처럼 남편한테 여자 생겼다고 호들갑 떨지 않아. 웃기잖아. 그런데 오늘 생각해보니까 덩달아 바람피는 건 더 웃기는 것 같아.
Kyung-hae is realistic and calculative. She has a loveless marriage from the beginning. After getting married, her husband openly has affairs with other women. In return, she tries to do the same. But she decides to stay in this fragile marriage and lives a life of pretense.
1990년대 우리 한국 문학, 특히 한국 소설을 그 페미니즘의 시대다 이렇게 얘기할 수도 있습니다. 물론 이제 90년대 소설에 여러 가지 특징들이 있지만 그중에 중요한 것, 가장 두드러진 것 중에 하나가 페미니즘인데 그런 것을 이제 선도했다라고 볼 수 있을 것 같아요.
Writer Gong Ji-yeong is also a wife, mother, and daughter in her 30s. In the postscript, she wrote that her book is a reflection of herself. Through this piece, she came to be known as a feminist, and deservedly so. In several pieces of her work, she introduces feminist literature with a new approach.
이제 90년대 초에 이 소설이 나왔고 조금 약간의 한 2, 3년 정도의 시차를 두고 90년대 중반 이후 가령 은희경 씨라든가 뭐 전경민 씨라든가 그 이후에 그 여성 작가들이 아주 집중적으로 등장을 하면서 우리 한국 그 소설에서 일종의 이제 페미니즘 붐을 일으켰다고 볼 수가 있거든요. 이제 그런 것에 이제 선구적인 역할을 공지영 씨가 했다고 볼 수가 있겠고.
But to Gong Ji-yeong, there is no answer to feminism yet. The title of her piece, Wander Alone Like the Horn of the Rhinoceros, still confuses many women, but also aids them like a light. Then what is the answer the three female characters discover? The destructive storm subsides, and the three women struggle to make their way through the despair that they have discovered in their 30s. Young-sun, however, fails to find herself. Instead of hating her husband, she starts to hate herself. She sees herself as a mere insect, insignificant and unworthy.
영선이 네가 맡아놓고.
The fateful sound of the phone rings once more.
죽었다고. 이번엔 진짜 죽어버렸다니까.
Like a lion undisturbed by noise, like the wind uncaught by the net, wander alone like the horn of the rhinoceros. Young-sun should have paid attention to these words. She should have stood alone, even if it meant giving up happiness like Kyung-hae, or killing her child like Haewon. If she chose to take care of the household, she should have permanently cast aside her desires and dreams. Perhaps this is not the suitable answer for her, but wouldn't that have been a way to at least love herself?
여성들이 이런 여성업적인 현실 속에서 많은 경우 그러니까 뭐 히스테리라든지 뭐 요즘 흔히 말하는 우울증 같은 그런 자기 분열을 겪게 되는데요. 그런 자기 분열을 넘어서서 스스로의 자기를 긍정할 수 있는 삶, 그것이 무소의뿔처럼 혼자서 가라라는 상징이 내포하는 거라고 할 수 있다고 생각합니다.
It is only an excuse if we cry out that society or men or even other women make us the way we are. If we feel that it is unfair, we must face it bravely. Even if it means we're alone, we must face it alone at first.
In the individualistic modern society, our basic manners towards other human beings crumble at times. 10 years ago in Korean society, women were treated that way. However, women have changed now. The three female characters boldly show us that women themselves hold the answers to the unresolved problem of feminism. We give them our applause for standing at that changing point of time.